Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 10 of What If Naruto Became the New God of Apokolips. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platforms, and also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other What Ifs over the other channels. Yes, I indeed have 4 of them which I post What If on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and smash that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And don't forget to comment down below and tell me if you're new so I can reply and talk back to all of you guys. Links will be down in the description, and also turn on the bell notification to see when I post, because I do post a hell of a lot. So without further ado or wasting more time, what do you say we jump right into this? Begin now guys. So, the last time we left off, Joseph's mother had been kidnapped. Yes, she had been kidnapped. The Light, the new organization that was comprised of several powerful people, including Vandal Savage and several powerful others. This people that took Joseph's mother was of a reptilian clan. They were trying to draw out Nathaniel, aka Naruto. Vandal Savage wanted to know more himself, as he found it rather curious that Slade was hiding him. There was something at afoot here that none of them know, and he wanted to find out what was going on, so Joseph had separated as he told his sister to remain behind. As Naruto was right, they had to learn to take missions away from one another. So with that, he embarked along with his group, the members of the Royal Flush, as 2 of them paired off in one group, showing the destructive capability that they had. The reptilian snakes were no match for them, as they eradicated the group with much ease, showing the might and the force that they had. As for Joseph, aka Jericho, his telekinesis, his power all around had magnified, showing his strength increase, as he was able to stop a giant metal door that was humongous, and through it, like it was nothing, crushing the head of one of his opponents that was gigantic. He would find his mother, or he would eradicate this place down to dust as he made his way inside. The video recording had been shown to Vandal Savage and Ra's al Ghul as they were talking about Naruto. They believed that he was the one in charge of this organization, which they were correct, as Vandal told Raz to speak to him, offering him a chance to join them. However, Naruto would never join someone like them. Their goals and his might seem similar, but underneath it was so different. It was crazy. As Raz continued to watch the video feed, seeing the destructive power of the hive, we then skip to Rachel's mother, aka Raven. Her mother had, well, she was dying. It was the only way to separate the link that Trigon had on them. That is when she told her daughter about the spell that was used to summon Trigon in the first place, but she had to tweak it. As she told her daughter that she will be okay, Raven did what she did as she tweaked the spell, summoning someone holy, pure, and a warrior that would try to vanquish all darkness and help her. However, instead of her summoning the warrior, she was pulled into a wormhole. The person's power was just too strong for her to bring him here. We then skip to Naruto, as he was on the planet where Big Barta and Mr. Miracle was. After they got through with their transaction with Lobo, he left. As Mr. Miracle realized that Naruto was completely unharmed, given the fact that his clothing barely had a smidge of dirt on it, he was fine. So with that said and done, he told him to stop acting. As Naruto simply got up, of course he was fine. along with Diana. As they spoke, Naruto's mother, the leader of the Furies, a powerful female organization, told them about him. They also are against Darkseid as well, as his mother had told them that Nathaniel will help them. So they were to pledge their allegiance to Nathaniel and join him. And that is why they had sent Lobo, as they wanted to see firsthand how mighty he truly was, and they were not disappointed at all. So with that said and done, now they pledged their allegiance to him, as they were under the same goal, having the same task to complete: to destroy Darkseid. However, Wonder Woman brought up the fact that, well, she thought that Naruto was going to communicate with the Justice League, but Naruto said that he had nothing to do with them, as she just realized that he had his own thing. But she did not want to be seen as a double agent, as Big Bart had spoke to her about that. She had to make a choice as well, and she chose love, which was with her husband, Mr. Miracle. That is when the wormhole opened up. Diana was about to save him, but Naruto was completely fine, as he wondered who had the galls to summon him. By the way, how would someone even know to summon him? As he turned to face whatever was inside and raised his hand and called out, "Universal Pull." So yeah guys, basically let's play left off. You guys can switch across the play, check it for yourself. So let's begin this new episode. Naruto extended his hand out towards the wormhole as he called, "Universal Pull," pulling the caster of the spell out of the wormhole. The powerful force was enough to pull her out, as Naruto caught her by the throat. He then used his other hand to control space and time and shut the wormhole behind her. Just a mere girl you are, around 16 years old of age, half human and half interdimensional demon, a powerful one at that. A demon trying to summon a god. Has such an absurdity ever occurred before? I wonder, Naruto said, as golden chains spread from his hand, wrapping around her as he released her to the ground. Those chains are suppressing your magic. You will tell me how and why you summon me, or I will rip the information from your mind and send your soul to the underworld, said Naruto. As Raven looked up towards him, I mean you no harm, I swear. My mother was human. My father is an interdimensional demon, sealed inside of my diamond on my forehead. If you continue to seal my power, he will break free. I have to continuously feed the diamond with my power to keep him in prison, said Raven, explaining quickly. Then say no more. I will get the information I need from your head, said Naruto, so we can save time. As he moved forward and placed a hand on her head, in a second Naruto saw her entire life, his mind analyzing everything. He now knew her name to be Raven. He quickly unbind her, realizing the gravity of the situation as she was trying to keep her father in prison. Trigon, put your weapons down. This is a good person, said Naruto. What? Are you insane? You just said, and she too just said, that she's a demon. Big Bart said incredulously. Naruto glanced towards her. If you're going to join my organization, then understand this one thing. We do not judge people by what they are, but by who they are. No one is to harm this girl. Ever. Naruto turned and offered his hand. She hesitated for a second only as she took his hand, before he pulled her into a tight embrace. Raven's eyes widened in shock. Only for a second though before she hugged him back with full force. The stress of everything on her. Losing her mother, everything. To get a hug like this, it was helping her a lot. I'm glad that you tried to summon me. You've been through so much. You deserve to have someone looking out for you and to be there for you. From this day forward, I would like for you to think of me as your mentor, your protector, and your big brother. If of course that is something that you would like. As Raven looked up towards him, sniffling. I would love that, she said, as she tried to hold back the tears, but she could not. As Naruto patted her on the back and told her that it was okay to let it all out. It felt like forever, but the warm embrace only lasted for a good 5 minutes. As she wiped her tears away and get herself back into a presentable state. Naruto turned towards the others. This girl, no, this woman, is to be treated as if she was my family. As of today, I am adopting her as my younger sister, and I expect you all to treat her as such, Naruto said firmly. Barta and Scott and Diana wonder what did he see in her head for him to make such quick and drastic decisions. But they did not have to wonder for long though, as Naruto blasted them with a psychic vision of Raven. Life in history. Although this one was a summary, cutting away a few things, what Naruto had saw was everything that ever transpired in her life, including her thoughts and memories. Great Hera. Such hardship and trauma for one so young, and yet such courage, such strength, and such power, said Diana. After she saw who Raven was, her potential is limitless, but she required training and guidance. I think it can also help with her little problem of having to allocate some of her power to the diamond. I am a master of the sealing arts. Containing Trigon, especially when he's already in a sealing state, won't be a problem at all. Raven's head snapped up at him as she heard him say that. Her eyes widened, with surprise and hope as well. Yes, Raven, that is something I can do for you. It won't even take that long, but first, give me the opportunity to finish my conversation with Mr. Miracle and Big Barta. As he blasted Raven with a psychic blast, giving her the information of what transpired from him meeting Lobo up to this moment. It seems like your concerns are not different from mine. I spent my entire life worrying about my father finding me in Azeroth and destroying Azeroth. I also spent that entire time worrying about what he would do to my mother if he ever found me. Raven said as she took a momentary pause before she continued. You are in a similar situation. If Darkseid find you, not only will he kill your mother, but he will come to Earth looking for you and destroy the Earth in the process. You and I, we are almost like mirrored image of each other, kindred spirits if you will. But do not worry, I will not allow Darkseid to succeed with you like Trigon did with me. I will protect you and all those that you cherish, Raven said with conviction. I am pretty sure that, as your big brother, that is my line to you. But since you have such a strong resolve, then let us protect each other and look out for one another, okay? Naruto said with a kind smile. It could not be seen because of his mask, but she could feel it as he held out his fist for a fist bump, as Raven instantly reciprocated as their fists bumped together. Then we shall look out for one another, now and forever, she said. There was joy and excitement in her tone. She was happy that she found a place that she could truly belong. Happy that she followed her mother's advice and summoned a savior. There is nothing more to be discussed, at least as far as our partnership is concerned. We will go back to Earth with you. You will teach us how to mingle with Earth culture. And we will serve under you, loyally, Scott said, as he just got a raw taste of both Naruto's power and personality after seeing that interaction with Raven as well. Why do I sense a butt coming, said Naruto, as he looked towards the man. We need you to help us take down the Manhunters. We were thinking of forming an alliance with Atrocious. We could end the war ourselves with our own power, but it will take too long, given the numbers of the Manhunters. Forming a mutually beneficial alliance with Atrocious would be the quickest route to victory, Scott said. Atrocious, the mad god who destroys and blows up planet just because they refuse to ally with him. The man who allows people to be killed by the Manhunter so he can cultivate their rage and anger. For his recruitment mission, that Atrocious, Diana asks. Her tone did not sound too happy with them wanting to join him. It actually makes sense, Diana, said Naruto. If you really think about it, if Atrocious allied with us, he will no longer need to cultivate rage. He will have the amount of power necessary to stop the Manhunters. The only issue is, what happened after the Manhunters are destroyed? What will he do then? Naruto said. What do you mean? Said Diana. Well, up until now, the Manhunters and the Red Lanterns, has been keeping each other in check. But if one side is defeated, the other will have free reign to do whatever they want. Atrociousness is obviously the lesser evil. The Manhunters simply cannot be allowed to eradicate all life in this part of the universe. But still, what will atrociousness do after the Manhunters are no longer a threat? And more importantly, what do we do about the barrier separating the Forgotten Zone and the Guardian space? Do we leave them separated, or do we dissolve the barrier and risk sparking an international war between the Red and Green Lanterns? Said Naruto. That was a hard question to answer. I wish I could ask you why you have to make things so complicated, but those questions are actually a valid concern. However, there is a simple way of dealing with this. You simply have to fill the missing vacuum, Barta said. What does she mean by fill the vacuum? Raven asked curiously. She meant for Nathaniel to conquer and rule the Forgotten Zone as a supreme ruler and leader, of course. We know that the Forgotten Zone would be a much better place with Nathaniel in charge. Probably, but the rest of the Forgotten Zone does not know that. Becoming the supreme leader, or rather attempting to become one, will lead down a path of bloodshed. I've never seen a leader that tries to rule that had not shed the blood of innocent or otherwise, said Scott. Why does he have to shed the blood of innocents to become the supreme leader? Raven asked. Raven life had been a bit sheltered, well, mostly. She lived a sheltered life in Azeroth that was cut off from, well, the rest of the world, universe. So she was a bit naive on this subject. Because the people of the different planets might not want to submit to my authority, even if it might be best for them. Therefore, I will have to take it by force, which would require me to demonstrate my power, and possibly stage public executions, and so on and so forth. Naruto explained for Raven's sake. I see. You demonstrate your power so they can see the futility of their efforts, and also so they can see that you do actually have the power to protect them all. You can use public execution because every being, or at least most sentient beings, fear death. And fear is a very great deterrent against rebellion, Raven said. You're a quick study, said Naruto, with approval, making Raven smile. As Diana interjected, there is another way to lead. You can lead with love instead of fear. If the people see and witness your power, your love, your selflessness, your benevolence, they will rally behind you of their own volition. In other words, you can earn the throne instead of taking it by force, said Diana. As Naruto looked towards her, he was a bit surprised, not expecting her to agree with such an idea. After all, she was raised by the Amazons. It seems Earth and the Justice League has truly changed her. Diana saw Naruto looking at her. She continued. What, she said. When you're with the Amazons, you do as the Amazons do. When you're with the Justice League, you do as the Justice Leagues do. When you're in the presence of gods, you do as the gods do, in a less savage and less bloody way, if possible, she said, as Naruto just kept on looking at her. And now you're thinking that there's more to her than you realize. You should not underestimate me, Nathaniel. There is more than one side to me. There is Diana of the Amazon, the warrior princess. Diana, the goddess of thunder. Diana, member of the Justice League. And Diana, the woman, she said. Noted. I will not underestimate you again. Speaking of filling the vacuum, I agree. It has to be filled. And I know of a way to do it without any bloodshed. But there's a lot to do before any of that. I have to train Raven. I have to develop a new seal to contain Trigon. One that allow her to fight at her full potential. More urgently, you have to tell me what the deal is with this planet, said Naruto, as he looked at Scott Free and Big Barta. I'm not sure I follow, Barta said. He is referring to the fact that this planet has a substantial higher amount of life forms than any other planet in the Forgotten Zone. Probably more than any of the others in the entire third world. It has so much life everywhere, and yet there are only 3 sentient beings on this planet, said Scott. 4, said Naruto. There's another one. He's watching us as we speak. It seems he's very good at concealing his aura. However, more than having an extremely high amount of life force, this planet is actually sentient. All planets are alive, but their life are more like trees, devoid of any sentient. However, this one, it has a mind. Why did you choose this planet for our meetup, Scott? Naruto asks. Because of the positive life force that it radiates. I figured that it would be a very calming and peaceful place for us to meet, said Scott. It is a calming and peaceful place to meet, that is. I shall communicate with this being to find out if it is okay with our presence, said Naruto. As he removed Raven from his left arm, she had still been holding on to him, afraid that he might disappear. You should take note, Raven. You are empathy and telepath as well, are you not? Raven nodded her head in the affirmative. Good. Then use your powers link up with me, so that you can experience what I experience. As Raven linked her mind with Naruto, as Naruto placed his hand on the planet. I am Nathaniel Wilson, also known as New God, Kitsune, R, the Toad Sage. My friends and I mean you no harm. We only wish that we could get your blessing to stay on your body for a while. Who knows, maybe we can even become friends. If you are interested in something like that, even if you are not, I will kindly ask if you can please tell me your name, said Naruto politely. My name is MoGo. MoGo the Living Planet. And yes, I am interested in becoming friends with you, or at the very least, exploring the possibility. But right now, I'm in need of your help. Would you help me, Nathaniel Wilson? The planet known as MoGo asks. Tell me everything, said Naruto. Time skip. On Earth. Bang, bang, bang. Naruto got to his feet as he walked towards the door and clicked it open. He already used the X-ray vision of his Rinnegan to see who it was. Hello, Mr. Vandal. Vandal Savage. The man that stood there said. It's a pleasure to meet you. Naruto Uzumaki. Or is it Nathaniel Wilson? No identified, Vandal Savage said. His tone was one of a deep muscular one, but there was an intellect, a sophisticated thought behind it. A man of great knowledge. That is what Naruto got from hearing him talk. You know, I have an intercom and a doorbell. I made sure to go out of my way to have both. You did not need to bang on my door, said Naruto. He was in his shirt, the blazer was off. Despite appearances, I am quite the old-fashioned individual. Not afraid of evolution, but I also see the value of old ways. Vandal said. As Naruto did not respond, instead he looked towards the 2 ladies that were beside him. Please forgive my rudeness. These are my beloved and esteemed daughters, Cassandra Savage and Scandal Savage. He replied to the unasked question. Cassandra is a young woman with a strong build and strong facial features, long brown hair, eyes of the same color. She is wearing a similar attire to that of her father and sister, but as her sister was wearing a waist-length brown unzipped jacket, she was not wearing anything over her combat outfit. She also had a stronger build compared to her sister, who had short hair and a smaller build. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Savage, and your beautiful daughters. I am, however, confused about your presence at my doorstep. I do not recall having an appointment with you of any sorts, and even if I did had one, it would certainly not be at my penthouse, said Naruto. I prefer that my potential allies or enemies do not see me coming, Vandal said. As Savage was concerned because Naruto did not seem worried or bothered that Savage and his daughters got past his security and was here at his home. Potential enemies, Naruto asks. Nathaniel, I can call you that, can I not? Since it is your actual name. Vandal did not give Naruto a chance to respond as he continued on. I know who you are. I know that Minato Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki raised you in the Uzumaki ninja clan. I know that despite your resemblance to Minato no Mikaze, your blonde hair and your blue eyes are not genetic traits that you inherited from him, seeing that Slade Wilson is your actual, biological father. I know that you were or are the mercenary known as Kitsune. I know that you have meta powers, even if I do not know what they are exactly. Savage trailed off as he gave Naruto a chance to digest what he knew. As he continued, I know that you are the leader of the secret organization known as Hive, along with your brother Jericho. I know that. Okay enough, said Naruto, cutting the man off. Naruto got a death stare from both of the girls, towards a blatant disrespect towards their father, who held his hands up, stopping them from attacking. Because they clearly thought they were dealing with an ordinary man here, with just meta-human powers. How wrong they are. I already know what you're building up to. You're going to make some grand proposal, that you will promise that is going to be worth my time. I probably won't accept your offer, and you will start to see me as an enemy that need to yield, or eliminated. Honestly, I find it quite tedious, boring, and predictable. But, said Naruto, I will listen regardless, and I will give you a serious and respectable consideration. Please come in. Make yourself at home. As he opened the door, making them come in. They looked towards him with suspicion, but they came in. Time skip. 1 hour later. Well, Mr. Savage, I am grateful that you took so much of your time to come and explain to me about your organization. To be honest, I was aware of her existence in the underworld, of a rising coalition, but I had no idea you were the mastermind behind it all, nor that you were operating on such a large scale. Your offer of partnership and mentorship is very compelling, but I'm afraid that right now I can only give you my oath of secrecy, and a vow to stay out of your business as long as it does not indirectly affect mine. Naruto said respectfully and firmly. Both of the man's daughters snarled at that. They were not used to their father being rejected. If I may be so bold to ask why, what about the light goals and plans displease you so much? Asked Vandal. I am a person that operates both in the light and dark, and despite its name, the light, it seems to operate only in the secrecy of the dark. I find it difficult to believe that such an organization can lead the people of Earth into light without first drenching it into complete darkness. I also worry whether or not you can bring it back into the light when you snuff the light out of it. Both of his daughters were confused, not understand what he was trying to say. However, because of Vandal, experience and intellect, he understood, or that is what he thought. You believe that we should be more like Justice League? He spat with disgust. Of course not, said Naruto. Balance is essential in all things in life. Balance is the most important state of existence that one could hope to achieve. The Justice League has too much light, to the point of absurdity, and the light has too much darkness, to the point of psychopath and outright criminal and evil activities. The person that will balance Earth must be someone that can balance both the light and the dark, and keep it at perfect odds. That is a person that will lead humankind to the pinnacle of evolution. And that person will be you, presumably. Vandal asked the raised eyebrow. I do not, unfortunately, have the power to see within the future. I could probably develop a time-traveling machine, or even a time-traveling ability, but life would be too boring and predictable if I did. And it would take the choice away from me in regarding to decision making. So I do not know if I'm that person, but my brother and I have the power and resources to try, to see if we can do it. Vandal did not seem to know about his sister, so he would not mention her. Interesting. You are quite a tad bit, no. You are incredibly wise for someone your age. Inhumanly so, if I might add. Which is why you must realize that, as you expand your mission and your projection on the Earth, the light and I will do the same thing as well. Eventually there will not be enough space for the light and hive to occupy planet Earth. One of us will have to bow down to the other. And if neither one of us will submit, it would lead to war, said Naruto, speaking on behalf of what Vandal was thinking. So you already know, and yet you would make that decision so quickly, despite the ramifications that might befall all of us in the future. Vandal asks, yes, I would, because it's possible that our interests might align in the future, just might our conflict with one another. If either of those scenarios occur, I will deal with it accordingly. Until then, I would very much like if you stayed out of my business. And if the light decide that you're a loose end, that must be dealt with, Vandal asks in a grave undertone. His daughter is taking it as a sign that it was time to eliminate the young billionaire. However, in the blink of an eye, Naruto jumped out of the couch, taking away both Cassandra and Scandal of all of their weapons, and returned back to his seating position. This happened in less than a split second, leaving them utter shock, Vandal trying his best to not show the shock on his face. Tell me, Mr. Savage, can you survive complete molecular destruction? In other words, does your immortality mean that you can come back from absolutely nothing? Naruto asked calmly, as if he did not just display godlike super speed. Father, I did not know he was a speedster, Scandal said with a stutter. How dare you compare me to a mere speedster? Naruto said as his eyes took on the Rinnegan before he held his hand out. Scandal was dragged towards him as Naruto clamped his hand down on her throat. She kicked punch as she tried to get free, but she was doing no damage at all. I have to wonder, Vandal, does your immortality get passed on to your children as well? Naruto asks. That's enough, Nathaniel. You made your point. Your powers are vast and diverse, and you somehow know who I am despite my best effort to remain anonymous. Vandal said calmly, as he really wants to know though deep down, how did Nathaniel knew about his immortality? Because he left that out completely. The point, Mr. Savage, is to show you what will happen to your people if you get in mind and my family's way. What Jericho and the Royal Flush Unit did to your Cobra goons is a mere drop in the ocean, compared to what will happen if you continue to antagonize me, said Naruto. She has not inherited my immortality. I tested all of my children through generations as soon as they were born. I killed them and then resuscitate them. Vandal said as he saw that she was about to pass on to the afterlife. In a result, Naruto threw her. As her head slammed into the wall, she was out cold. There was absolutely no effort from him one bit. Not when he was choking her. Not when he threw her. Her attacks had no effort on him as well. Super speed, super strength, invulnerability, telekinesis. This guy is dangerous, Cassandra thought, as she had listed down the powers that she saw so far. There, your daughter is safe and alive, for now, said Naruto. You're soft, unlike your father. If it was him and he had your power, he would have killed us already. In fact, even with his current set of powers, he would have taken us down and tried to think of a way to get permanently rid of me. You won't go very far with such a soft and tender heart, Vandal said. Well, there is a matter that I hope you did not fail to consider. Of the Justice League, more specifically Batman, placing surveillance around the area of my penthouse. If 3 people enter and none leave, that would not look too good now, would it? Naruto said. You need not worry about Batman. Inferior equipment, my people have taken care of it in a way that you will not know that something happened to it unless someone draws suspicions, said Vandal. I see, said Naruto. Naruto was not impressed. He too had technology that was far superior to Batman, but he did not use it, allowing the Bat to believe that he was in control of the situation. I suppose me and my daughters will be on our way. Cassandra moved toward her sister as she gave her something to smell. She instantly woke up. Your neutrality is appreciated, but Your relationship with Supergirl is disconcerting. The Justice Leagues are enemy of the light. Supergirl has close tie with the Justice League and could become a member of theirs in the near future. I'm concerned what you will do if Supergirl is caught in the crossfire or even killed by a member of the light, Vandal said. That, with all due respect, is for you to worry about, and not for me to care about whatsoever. Just stay in your lane and I will stay in mine. When our interests align, we will talk. When they don't, we will see. Naruto said with finality. Why not just get rid of me? Why not just destroy the light? I do not know the true extent of your power, but the little I have glimpsed give me cause to believe that you and your hive could potentially take our might. Certainly, it is a show of your confidence, Vandal said, as he tried to dig up as much information he could on the blonde. I value peace, Vandal Savage, but I'm not afraid of war. I am perfectly balanced. If peace is a possibility, then I will explore that possibility, but if not, I will sharpen my blades and arm my nukes without hesitation. The ball is in your court, Mr. Savage. You decide what happens next. As Vandal saw the underlying threat, Naruto was basically telling the light that cross them and they will see what happened. Then peace you shall have. One word of advice though, stay away from Supergirl. If you really wish for peace, then you should not fornicate with such people. Vandal said his distaste for Justice League and the superhero community in a whole. There was a distaste in his tone, showing how much he hated them. I know what you mean. She is the reason why Justice League is on my case after all. However, I cannot grow if I can't meet my own mistakes, and I cannot lead this great planet if I don't value certain members of the community. It is essential that I understand everyone in it, so I can discern their function and their purpose. In the collective hive, said Naruto, as he walked Vandal to the door. I don't entirely agree with you, but nor do I entirely disagree with you either. That, despite myself, intrigues me to no end. I think I shall take time, every once in a while, to pay you a visit. At the very least while there is neutrality between us. I am interested in seeing your growth and development. Your fathers are interested and great men, but you are is better. That is a high order of compliment, coming from someone like you. I am humbled and grateful, said Naruto. Until we meet again, said Vandal, as he extended his hand. Yes, until we meet again, said Naruto as they shook hands. Time skip. 1 month later. Planet MoGo. Supreme Commander Nathaniel Wilson. 1 month and a half has passed since I started my training. 1 month and a half has passed since Raven started their training. 1 month and a half has passed since Saint Walker started his Spectrum NG training. And 1 month and a half has passed since you started your Spectrum NG training as well. We have all grown by leaps and bounds. Is it not yet time for us to take down the Manhunters? Do we even need Atrocitus and the Red Lanterns to achieve our goal? MoGo asked in a deep and booming voice that caused minor vibrations all around the planet. A lot had changed since Naruto had stepped foot on the planet, and he could honestly say that he was pleased with all the changes that fate had made for him, and that he had made for himself. For starters, he was able to reform Raven's seal into what he called a Jinjulki seal. In other words, the power of a human sacrifice. The seal allowed her to siphon some of Trigon's power and use it for herself if she found her own power insignificant against the odds that she was facing. And it also siphoned and purified Trigon's magic and send it to her. Over time, it will make her power grow and grow to levels beyond. He has also been training her how to use her powers better, and also teaching her hand-to-hand combat as well, and how to use her magic to strengthen her body. Enchantress, who had successfully defeated 2 liberators and saved Colony 12, had returned and participated in Raven mentorship. as she had grown very fond of Raven over the past month, thinking of the girl as a younger sister. Naruto himself has grown as well. He now had access to a different form of power, called Spectrum Energy. He did not have a power ring, but he was able to sense and gather Spectrum Energy. It was a form of energy like Sage Energy that was gathered from the universe itself. The first time Naruto was able to sense his energy was in his battle with the Honored Guard. But after helping MoGo to wear the ring that had stuck on his surface for years now, unable to be done by him because it needed to be taken to his very core, Naruto was finally able to sense enough to gather it in and use it. MoGo, being planet size, he was able to gather an exceptional amount of energy than any other Green Lantern out there. It took Naruto a full day to gather the power of will. In a week, him, along with MoGo assistants, created the first Blue Lantern. Saint Walker, the resident that was watching them, when they were talking, he was so good at stealth, he was able to hide himself from Mr. Miracle for a long time. As Naruto was able to create a power ring for the Blue Lantern core, and of course master the Blue Lantern energy of Hope, yes it was Hope himself. The red spectrum of energy came from Rage. As Naruto had remembered how it felt, as Naruto was able to recreate the effects because of his memory, and then love followed Rage. Shagaraf had mentioned that there was a unit of lanterns that used love. They were known as the Star Sapphires. He had motivated all of his love to try and channel it into pink, spectral energy. Once he had love down, he was able to follow with compassion. It was related to love, closely related to hope as well. The hardest to master though was fear, because Naruto did not feel fear. The last time he felt fear, he could not remember that. The only one that was able to use it was a prisoner named Parallax. He could not sense the other. Nevertheless, after mastering all the lanterns' power, he combined them all to create the White Lantern. But Naruto still could not see what this spectrum training was going to do for him. His power was far greater than the lantern's power, even combined. It was still nowhere close to his power. However, as a ninja, he never wastes any knowledge at all, and anything that can make him stronger. Any information, any techniques, he learned them. And the training also helped because it allowed him to form the Blue Lantern Corps. When their numbers increased, he was going to get them to police the Forgotten Zone, to be the supreme ruler army. That left the issue of the Red Lanterns that MoGo had just brought up. They did not really need them to destroy the Manhunters. Of course not. He was here. Enchantress, Diana, Raven, Scott, Barta, MoGo, Incubus, and Saint Walker. They had the power to annihilate the Manhunters. And he knew that his comrades would not die. They were too skilled and strong. And he was confident in its plan of strategy. What did concern him though was the Manhunters. Surviving, some of them, escaping and rebuilding. Their numbers are quite large. And how many innocents would be caught in the crossfire? Besides that, bringing in the Red Lanterns had its merits, because he had plans for them. The problem was, his plans for the Red Lanterns were sinister. Yes, very sinister and dark. So much so that he did not want to disclose it to any of his comrades. Not even Diana. Especially Diana. Not that he thought about it. However, this was a plan to save the Forgotten Zone and get the Red Lanterns to cooperate with the future Blue Lanterns, all of them under his command. This was an opportunity to obtain an army that was so great it would decimate all of Darkseid's army. We need numbers, Naruto finally spoke. The battle with the Manhunters must not drag out. We must destroy them in one fell sweep. Their army must not be able to escape. We must destroy them all in one fell sweep, said Naruto as he was no longer in his mask at the moment. Of course he trusts every one of his single comrades with his true identity. A trustness does not seem like a trustworthy being. How sure are you that he will not try to stab us in the back when the opportunity arises? Incubus asked wearily. Incubus was about 5 meters tall. He has no hair. He's completely bald. His skin is like an inferno. Because beneath his natural, gold-plated armor is nothing but an inferno ball of energy, made up of plasma. There was a green-like crown on his head, with a magical orb floating beneath it as well. Incubus is of course Enchantress' brother, who had been part of the original deal between Naruto and Enchantress. Naruto had promised to find where her brother was sealed and release him, and she would betray Waller and join his cause, along with her brother. The whole time when Naruto and Wonder Woman was traveling through space, Naruto clones had been searching for him, and they found him 25 days ago, and released him. When Enchantress arrived on the docking planet, as she saw her brother hanging out with Naruto and talking, she was shocked. That is why I will go in undercover. I can summon the red spectrum engine now. I can easily blend in. Atrocness has recently sent out 6 power ring to find new recruits. I will be one of those recruits, Naruto said. You will be all alone on enemy territory. Are you sure that's a good idea, my lord? Saint Walker asks. Saint Walker is a light, blue-skinned alien with an athletic body, pitch black eyes, a long tail like appendage that extend from his head. He is dressed in the custom black and blue colors of the Blue Lantern Corps, with the insignia on his chest area. I thought it was not yet established as enemy territory or not, Naruto said, without any intention to disrespect you, my lord. But do you really think Atrocness is someone that you can trust after everything we heard about him and know about him? Saint Walker asks. That is all the more reason for me to infiltrate the Red Lantern Corps. Do not worry, Saint Walker. I was born and bred for this kind of thing. I am a ninja after all, said Naruto as he raised his right hand, gathering a large amount of red spectral energy. The closest Red Lantern ring was pulled towards him as the thing overtook him in a bright red light, changing his Kitsune combat outfit into one of the typical Red Lantern Corps members. The outfit showed off all of his physical and rippling muscles. He also had an eye mask on to not reveal his true identity. Sure, he did not think anyone in the Forgotten Zone knew who he was, but a ninja must always hope for the best and plan for the worst. How do I look, said Naruto as he looked himself over. You look like the ultimate being, my lord. The Red Lantern Corps will bow down and sing your name. That I have no doubt, Enchantress said. She's right, brother. You look amazing. Like you could conquer the world, Raven retorted. You do look like a model Red Lantern. If I didn't know any better, I would say that you were a true Red Lantern. The blood red animalistic eyes are a nice touch. And the canines as well. It makes you look ferocious, said Diana, as she finally understands his Kitsune moniker now that she saw him like this. Whisker marks, elongated canines, and the blood red eyes, like a fox. Yes, I really did pull off the look, didn't I? Soon, I'll have the Red Lantern Corps eaten out of the palm of my hands, Naruto said as he was going to be going on a space ninja mission. Time skip, back on Earth. Only you could demand a meeting from the 6 of us. Back from the pit of insanity on your first day, General Swanwick said. The 6 people were himself usually. The head of DO. The head of Argus was there as well. General Lane. Agent Percy Odell. And Wayne Eiling. And of course, the person that called for the meeting in the first place, Amanda Waller. And there was also Steve Trevor as well. If this is a plan to control Naruto Uzumaki, I don't think I want myself or Argus to have anything to do with your plans, given what happened last time, Steve said. Fortunately, my plan only requires your vote. Nothing more, nothing less, Amanda said. You really do not know how to let bygones be bygones, do you? Swanwick asks. Let bygones be bygones. You must be crazier than I was for the past 2 months. Gentlemen, a 20-year-old billionaire has a metahuman army of origins unknown. He has a wave encrypted super suit that enhances physical ability and other kinds of power that we do not know. He has stolen national security intelligence and has a powerful demonic metahuman under his control. And you're talking about letting bygones be bygones. Quite frankly, I can't believe that you buffoons have been sitting on your ass this whole time while I was out of commission. Why hasn't that brat been taken care of? The room was silent until General Lane spoke up. Well, quite frankly, Amanda, we did not want to hand over to him another world-ending weapon. As he saw, look in her eyes. Yes, Amanda, I know what you're thinking. You're wondering why we did not use Hell Project, or Cadmus Project Doomsday, or Argus Project on him, don't you? Well, it's simple. If Naruto Uzumaki has the information that you have in your mind, it means that he already knows about these projects. Think about it, he knows about these projects and yet he's still here. He's not hightailed it out of Earth. Why do you think that is? Amanda was very quiet about that. I'll tell you what I think. We think that Naruto Uzumaki is more than what he's letting on. We think that his power might be greater than what he showed against you. Why else would someone like Entrenches bow to him so easily, unless his power is far greater than what any of us can even fathom, said General Lane. We also know that Superman live in Metropolis, and that Supergirl, as recently, and Wonder Woman become close to Naruto. This means, should we release any of those projects, they will all try and stop it. Uzumaki might not even have to lift a finger, and even if her weapon does get past those 3 heroes, Naruto has an army of metahumans and entrenches that can destroy a weapon. So tell me, Waller, do you think your idea is still a good one? Amanda was quiet for a long while, until she finally spoke. There might be another way. What if I send someone to infiltrate Naruto Circle? Former ASA and former Argus agent Emilia Hartwork. She has never failed us before. She has a 100% successful rate. She infiltrate Dr. Psycho organization and help us take him down. You intend for her to use her telepathic warding technology to prevent Naruto or his psychics from reading her mind. However, can Dr. Psycho and the Entrenches powers be compared though? Do you think that she wouldn't be able to bypass any sort of technology, especially with her magic in play? Can a device that ward off metahuman powers ward off magic? Asks Wayne Eiling. Telepathy is telepathy. Her tech will work even if it does not. She has underwent extensive telepathy prevention training. Her mind is a fortress. In fact, she has been teaching me some of her techniques since I've returned, Waller said. I find it hard to believe that a normal human can withstand such ability. They're called superpowers for a reason, General Wayne said. Well, at this point, there is no problem as long as she knows what she's getting involved with, Steve Trevor said with a shrug. It does seem like a better attempt than sending all of our destructive world-ending weapons against him, General Swanwick said, agreeing with Steve Trevor. Then we have a majority vote because I do also want this subtle attempt as well, General Lane said. With them together with Waller, the other two did not matter because the vote was achieved. Thank you for your cooperation, gentlemen. For our next monthly meeting, I will ask that each of you think of a way to lure Uzumaki outside of Metropolis. If we can lure him to an isolated area, we may be able to use Damage, Wraith, or Doomsday to bring him to his knees. We cannot allow any single individual or organization to believe that they're above the US government. No one at all, Waller said. Well, we can certainly come up with some ideas between the 5 of us in due time. I also think whether those 3 can work together or work with another unit of our choosing, Agent Ordell asks. I believe that Wraith and Doomsday are capable of single-handedly defeating Superman. I think Damage might potentially defeat him as well, maybe. More importantly, unlike Superman, none of those 3 are held back by any sense of morality. They fight and kill without prejudice, so we would not need backup, Wayne Island said. I think we're all forgetting about the Enchantress and the metahuman army that he possessed. Not so long ago, Enchantress was one of those 4, now 3 weapons that we possess, meaning she alone is capable of one of our weapons. She can stalemate or even defeat one of our weapons, Trevor said. We are arguing in circles. When or if we have to take down Uzumaki, we can simply send all of our resources in waves if need be. It's basic strategy 101, attacking waves to wear down your enemy, General Lane said. Luring Naruto into a trap will not work. With the cards that both of our sides possess, a battle like that will not be contained. These beings that we're talking about are world-ending threats. The whole earth could be destroyed by this senseless violence. And for what? For power and control? There will be no power and control if the entire world is destroyed. We'll all be dead, Swanwick said. And yet, we cannot allow this rogue billionaire to do as he please. So you better come up with a better idea, General Swanwick. Or, for a better term, shut your trap, Amanda said. I know that Naruto Uzumaki humiliated you, but he was cut off. This has nothing to do with personal feelings, General Swanwick. I take offense that you insinuate I would put the world in danger for a personal feud. If you want to let Uzumaki do as he please, Bill, his private metahuman army, take over the entire US and the entire world, and answer to no president or government, then you are a fool that should not be on this council. Swanwick did not reply to her. Once again, we are arguing in circles. A vote has already been cast. Let's be done with it, General Wayne said, as they all agreed. But guys, if you end subscribe right here. If you want the next person to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember, share this with all of your friends in social media platform. But I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.